partners, welcome on back. Sorry about the delay. I was having a little bit of trouble here on the little science side of things. I don't know, computers and boop boops kind of confuse me. But I know we got some exciting stuff here happening with all these folks, Jett, Baptiste, the Ellie's all around. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Take her away, Kevin.
I saw what happened. You spilled scotch in the soundboard. Don't blame the internet. It was you. And that was good scotch, too. That was. Oh, anyway. You sit there and think about what you've done while I introduce these nice people that we're going to play a game with tonight.
I'm sorry. I'll make you a bottle of my Moonstone distilled triple filter.
And forgiven. Thank you. Moving on. Now that we got that figured out, I've managed to bribe the production team. Excellent. So, the rest of the people that are going to be telling lies with me tonight, we'll just start right now. No, wait a minute. Let's call them storytellers because lie tellers just has negative connotations. But let's start with this fellow right next to me, Ryan, playing Baptiste this evening.
Hello.
Who will literally start the night guns blazing, as will everybody else. Next in line, we have Hannah playing Ellie. Down at the end in a magnificent hat and even more magnificent hair, we have Lesimax playing Lucius. And then on the bottom row, a fellow warlock and a fellow mom. That sounds weird. Mercenary of Mischief. Let's start with her playing Alice Morris tonight. Sarah. Oh, that innocent face. Yeah, I was talking about telling lies earlier. That face was one of them. She's nothing innocent about Miss Alice. And then
I do not know what in the world you are implying, sir.
Way down there next to her in the far corner, our cowboy of cowboys, Jett, played by our very own Sky. And last week was kind of eventful. For those that missed it, I'll just do the short version. We had a new sort of inter-party interaction start as old Shoot and Pray and Little Miss Point and Shoot started a bit of a conversation, for lack of a better word. Miss Alice is using her connections and her investigating skills to find out everything she can about Baptiste Saint-Laurent, while at the same time, said Baptiste is, shall we say, attempting to slow that process down somewhat and keep some of his secrets secret. Meanwhile, our only unemployed adventurer has finally found a job. Lucius, you are the official undertaker for Paradise Township, and given the last 45 seconds of the last episode, you appear to be the head gravedigger now as well. Because if you remember, you discovered the last one sort of on top of the fence, all cut and bled out. Miss Ellie, people kept trying to touch you. It was kind of a running theme.
Don't say it like that.
Well, see, there was you who did that. And then there was poor Jett, who just tried to show off his new trick, tried to be the sweet, kind, wonderful person everybody knows he is. But location, son. Yeah, so Ellie took it the wrong way, and Jett got sad. So that's what you missed, if you missed last week. Oh, and a gun start fighted. So with that, let's have everybody draw your 3 chips for tonight. As soon as you got those on your sheet, you can go ahead and roll me some quickness rolls. And we're going to go down this rabbit hole. We are going to follow the sound of gunfire to our very own Poison Paradise. If I remember correctly, and we've got the map to show it, last time, just as we finished up, Ellie was had taken a dive off of the off of the cart and ended up on the ground. You had set a very expensive and nice rifle handed to you by Baptiste against the wagon. Miss Ellie, you had set up just outside the cemetery gates with your camera, using it as a magnifier to sort of take a look around the site. You also took that opportunity, before I forget, to slide in one of the ghost rock daguerreotype slides that you have, and you took a 2-second exposure, which unfortunately at that 2 seconds, these two bumbling fools heroed all over that picture. As far as you can tell, they ran right through it towards this mausoleum that had the three winding sheets on the ground out in front of it. So the two of you were right up close. Lucius, if I remember correctly, you had just stepped through the cemetery gates, shovel in hand, sort of getting ready to go. Is that correct?
I was assisting with Ellie to make sure she was okay. So
Okay,
I think we're kind of coming around the same time.
Sure. So we'll have you sort of back there then with them. So the real short version is 3 of you are outside the fence and 2 of you are over by the mausoleum. When that first round cracks off, ting, a little chunk of white granite comes off of this huge mausoleum where you guys put all the dead that wouldn't quite stay still last night. And with that, you turn around and look. Okay, Jett, you get 1 card. Ellie, 1 card. Sarah, 1 card. 1 card. Everybody gets 1 card except for Lucius. You don't get any cards. You go on the 2. As you guys turn around to look at the sound of this gunshot, where it came from, you see in the trees, some of you closer than others, 4 shambling undead bodies, bits of Union uniform hanging off them in shreds, arms almost dropping, heads lolling as they move towards you without their eyes making contact. And you have just time to register the 4 of them when you see there's 1 other still in the trees slightly further. And he's braced himself, as dead as he is, he has braced himself on one of the pillars that make up this fence around the graveyard and has lined up a shot and squeezed it off. It's missed, but he's actually showing signs of maintaining some level of skill. And so
Kevin, I can't draw a card.
Okay, I was just looking at those ones. You guys get 1 each. 2.
Remind me one more again. The Black Joker.
Jokers. We will get to Jokers in just 1 second.
You're fine. Just, I think I remember, but I want to be sure before we get this train rolling.
There you are. There you go. So you should. Oh, you had. Sorry, you got your own. I didn't see it there. Ignore that second card. I should probably give myself one though.
I gotta remember how pace works. So if you have a pace of 10, you can move 10 spaces, or
I was just going to do that because this is really the first combat we've had in a while. Some of us, this is the first combat we've ever had. The only thing that really is odd about this is pace and range, because you guys are at range this time. So all of your weapons have a range, and it runs in increments. So if that's 20 yards, if you're more than 20 yards away, it's more difficult to hit, so it adds to the difficulty of the target number. Your pace, that is the number of squares you can move in a whole round. So if you had 3 cards, you could break it up into 3 sections. The trick with it is, especially because you guys all only got 1 card, is that if you move more than half of your pace in 1 turn, there are further penalties to everything that you do. And then just to be clear with these penalties right now, every single one of these bad guys is in cover, making them more difficult to hit. You guys are all very, very exposed. So, any further questions before we do this?
I don't think so.
Nope, okay.
Just the Joker.
The Jokers, yes. It should be.
I remember that the red one and the black one have like a couple of subtle differences, so I just want to make sure.
Got it.
I can't remember which one I got the last time. I think it was.
Well, rather than spending a lot of time looking this up, we're just going to do the same thing we did last time. You can use it whenever you want in the turn, but as soon as you're done, all the cards go back in the
Okay.
deck.
I think I had the black one last time too, so I think that's
how we're going to do this one. So yeah, it is a wild card, but once you use it, nobody else gets to go.
Yeah.
Which, if the bad guys haven't gone, is a good thing, and if your guys haven't gone, it's not a good thing. So let's just start then. Aces.
That's me.
Wow.
Nice.
Jett is itching for a fight.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else he's tried today has been taken the wrong way.
I think I moved it out there.
Yep, it's out there. Absolutely. Ace of Hearts.
All right. So just so I understand, what around us, is this like a wall? Are we inside something, or is this just grass?
The green area is grass. These areas that are blacked out for you, those are the mausoleums. So they're all locked doors. So getting inside would be challenging, but they do certainly count as cover. They're all tall enough to hide behind.
Then
Right in front of you, right in the center, is a statue. Other than that, these guys are in the trees outside the gate.
All right. I'm going to move then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you poke around that, or do I have to be here to do that? Or I can move back and forth. I have enough movement for that.
Yeah, you got enough. Yeah, exactly. So you step out and take the shot and then step back into cover. Absolutely. So you are shooting whom?
If I can like poke around that corner, even if I have to step out here and move back, I'm going to try to get I'm just going to try to hit this area right here and see if I can.
Oh, you're going to shotgun, are you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So let's do some measuring. From you, what is the range step on your shotgun? I believe it's 20 yards, is it?
Yeah, I believe. Let
10?
me verify. It is on the revolving shotgun. Range is 10.
10. Okay, so these guys are all one step out. So instead of a 5 to hit, it's going to be a 6. And instead of 6d6 damage, it's going to be 5d6.
Okay. Got it. So I gotta remember. I just roll like a regular
shooting shotgun.
It's been so long.
You got to say it. It's been a long time since there was a fight in this game. You guys, yeah. We got to know some townspeople. We got to know each other. Spent some time trapped under trains.
We've been talking so much.
7. Okay, that's the first one. Roll 2 more times. 1 for each of these 3 guys.
Oh, gotcha. Well, let me open that back up. Shotgun. Whoop. Boop. Wow.
Yeah.
Not
You
consistent.
step out and let go. Just before you squeeze the trigger, there's a horrible memory in your head, and you look down and you almost can't pull that trigger. And when you do, you're twitching and twinging, and the shot goes up into the trees and hits none of them.
Oof.
You still got some movement left?
Yeah, I'll just kind of get right back in that corner, back where I was, just behind cover.
Just to be clear, they had partial cover, and also you moved over half of your movement that turn, so there were a number of varying penalties there.
Gotcha. I forgot about the half movement thing.
Yeah. Like this, the last fight was in a little tiny cave and nobody moved. So.
And I died. So.
So that's our ace down the road. Kings, queens. Wow, it's getting worse all the time. Jacks.
That's me.
That's a jack. Okay. Baptiste, you wanted to see what the boy was capable of.
All right.
You turn your head to look and see where he went, and you see the 3 of them in the trees.
Okay. So I think I'm going to go ahead and close in And so I can move 6 of my spaces if I've got a pace of 6.
Yes,
That's
and
how
that
that
will
works.
put a negative or a difficulty modifier on your shot because you moved it
Okay.
more than half. If your pace is 6, if you move 3 or less, there's no penalty based on your movement. But they
And
would still
if
get
they
some
are,
for cover.
and for the range increment, if they're 10 or less, then there's no penalties, correct?
Exactly. So they are currently it's 22 yards to the closest one.
Well, then I do believe I can just barely, if I move myself 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
That gets me within 10 of this. Right there. Is it 10 spaces or 10 yards?
10 yards, and each of these spaces. I should have made that clear. Each of these spaces is 2 yards.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's the case, if I'm going to take penalties anyway, then I'll go ahead and finish the rest of my movement.
Might as well get in closer. Yeah.
2, 3. And that should get me within.
Just yep. Perfect.
Right there. All right.
And reminiscent of a certain sheriff walking right down Main Street, guns blazing, Jett hiding behind the crypt. Ha ha! Baptiste now.
Yeah, and is he and so Baptiste just, and it's not a rush. He's not running. He walks, and yeah, as he passes by Jett, he sees you take your shot and duck back in, and he catches your eye for just a second and just gives us a quick little wink. And he keeps walking, and both pistols come out from his gun belts and squeezes off shots from both.
Absolutely. So give me shooting twice. You have two-handed fighting, right?
Yeah, so I'll take a -2 on the second one.
Yeah.
So that
And
should be
some cover. So
And am I rolling keep one or keep all?
to keep one to hit, keep all is damage.
Gotcha. Thank you. All right, let me look at this. All right, here's my
You
first
just
one.
upped this to 5, did you not?
I did. So first shot.
Just you did
And
9s.
second shot.
So you will need 11s on this.
Come on now.
Sometimes it's fun to let people know what their target is, and sometimes it's
Second shot.
look at that. Oh,
Pew, pew.
oh, Jett. Oh, right beside Jett's face, there's a little part of that gray marble that's kind of like lit by a faint red glow. The shame. The shame.
Okay.
Two
I just want to.
shots.
So Alice can see this also, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So this
Good,
is, these are your pistols. These are a 3d6 each for damage, correct?
Yes, they are.
So give me a keep all. Yeah.
The first one being Ghost Rock, so I don't know if that's going to do any difference, but.
Okay.
And do you just want me to roll 66 or 3d6 twice?
Roll 3d6 twice because these are keep all. So
Gotcha. All right, first shot.
okay.
And second shot.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Those exploded so
Yeah,
much.
God.
On the left-hand side of the whole screen, there's a stack of little boxes. Second one from the bottom looks kind of like a 20-sided die. If you can
Yeah.
hover over that, go down to where
Yeah.
it says D20, and just click just the actual box that says D20 for me. Do that twice. This is hit location.
1,
Okay.
2.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, your first shot, the first one, which was, I guess we'll say the Ghost Rock round, hits him right where the collarbone joins into the breastplate. And you see that bone pop up and the muscles pull the arm in, and that arm comes up like this, and he leans slightly away and looks up at you just in time for the second round to go right into where his eye used to be.
Oh.
And it would be worse if he hadn't been dead for a very long time. But what comes out the back can probably best be described as confetti. It's dry. He's been dead for a long time. It's just sort of poof, out the back, and he slumps against the post and slides down. That was a headshot for 5 wounds.
Whew.
That's exactly what it took to one-shot one of these things. And you took the baddest of the bad one out.
All right, well, I think I'm just going to leave from there.
Your job is
it's
done
not
here,
going to get
yeah.
me better, so good game. See everybody next week.
Baptiste standing out in the middle of nowhere, just
Well then.
10s.
Yes.
Actually, can I get you to drag your jack out just on top of that ace if it's possible?
Where is it? Oh, down there. I see it.
Yeah. And you might as well drag that other one out too, just because you didn't, so you weren't supposed to get 2 cards. I just did that. Perfect. And a 10, Ms. Ellie. There's one right there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
There's another one right behind that one. As impressive as the shooty over here was, there's 2 more right there. You are on your butt, on the ground, pistol in hand, very expensive rifle leaning against the side of the cart.
No, I'm up at this point. Me and Lucius started making our way over.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, you guys are just getting to where Miss Alice is just finished packing her camera away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
All right. Well, I'm going to draw my pistol and aim at the green dude right next to me.
Okay,
Because he's a little too close.
you have quick draw, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you were already standing. You guys already knew you were in trouble. Go ahead and take a shooting roll at this guy, the green one. Bye-bye, veteran Walking Dead. It was fun not getting to play you.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry.
Yeah, look at Ellie over here.
I ruined your backstory last week. You get to kill my bad guy this week. It all comes around in the end. 13, yes. It is in cover, but you didn't move, so there's only a tiny penalty here, so that absolutely hits. So go ahead and roll me damage. 3d6, and if you because you've got the sheet, if you can make sure, never mind, location's already on. 1 to the upper guts. Okay. And if you can also roll me a wind, which is just 1d6 keep all. Okay. So yeah, you kind of line up through the branches and you shoot, and a big chunk blows off, but it was off the left shoulder and it's holding the pistol in the right hand, so it doesn't seem to have done all that much. Sorry, you shot him in the upper guts. Sorry, yeah, it doesn't seem to have done a whole lot of damage to them. Would you like to move at all? They're not engaged, and it's not D&D, so you can run away.
Do I want to? That is the question. I might move slightly back from him,
Sure.
but I'm not going to really move too far.
Yeah. It does feel kind of odd thinking I'll run into the cemetery where it's safe. That seems kind of strange. I understand that resistance. 10s, that was 10s. 9s. 8s. 7s. 6s. Well, that's me. That's the 6s there. So
I was gonna give it to 5s and then go. Damn it.
Actually, they are going to stay in the trees. They are not idiots. The first one picks up its pistol and fires at Lucius, standing there with your shovel. Nope. The second one, that was the red one. The blue one fires at Ellie. Nope.
Ooh. Oh no.
Wow, really? It's gonna
Oh
again?
no.
Not again. Okay, the green one firing at Alice. I mean, they don't roll a lot of dice, but still, I mean, just one. I want to shoot the cameraman with the last one. No, that's not going to work. I want to shoot at Lucius again. You're the tallest one. They don't like your hat.
What? It just got
Hey, you don't threaten my hat.
That's incredible.
Those were all 2d6s. Well, so you know what happens is that a bunch of rounds go off, a bunch of rust flies off of ancient old pistols and bits of metal, and a thumb comes off from a backblast from one of the explosions, and they all look at each other in a moment of panic, and 4s or 5s, 4s, 3s, 2. Yeah, that's you, Lucius.
Lucius.
And then you're gonna wait till the very end.
Okay. So
Miss
are
Alice.
they in the trees?
Yeah.
They are hiding, not hiding, but they are blocked by the trees. Only the veteran was truly hiding, but these guys are gaining some benefit from being in the trees. However, that does not apply to melee. If you run up to them and smash them in the face, being next to a tree doesn't help.
Oh, good. I'm gonna run right up to him and hit him with my shovel.
Okay,
The green
which
one.
Go right ahead and drag yourself. Drag yourself down there.
Okay, and
I love it how in game he's a walking coffin.
okay, so
Go ahead and give me a brawling shovel.
oh, here it is. Okay.
This is the only one that's also been hit. He's got a wound in his gut. That definitely hits.
It's that new shovel.
With
that new
one
shovel
raise, yep.
feeling.
Could move the damage slightly. Go ahead and give me a damage for your fat and shovel. Although this is just a shovel. Ooh, okay. It catches him flat, and there's like spang as it goes off his giant belt buckle. It does a roll wind for me. So do a keep all. It doesn't do any actual wounds, but he's already taken some wounds. See if
Sorry, which one do I roll?
just keep all and do 1d6.
Oh, 1d6. Oh, so just like a regular like die.
So
Okay.
just do the keep all, the macro at the bottom on the left hand side, the little yellow box. It says keep all.
I'll let you do that because I can't seem to find it.
Keep all, and we do 1, and then we do d6s. That's consistent with both how I was rolling and how you rolled at the start of yours. So yeah, he takes 1 more win. Wow, the shame is spreading. I'm
just
say.
looking
They're
at my
undead, so they don't feel shame. But you and Jett, oh my goodness! And you guys need to fight more often. I'm not. You're rusty.
To be fair, it's not my shovel. I'm like,
It's like weighted
new
a little
shovel, who
differently.
dis?
I gotta break into it.
You got no pine tar on the handle yet.
Yeah.
Miss Alice,
Yeah, but
you waited ever so patiently.
I did
Such
not
a
want to.
southern
I did.
bet.
I wanted to go. I wanted to go as soon as Baptiste went because it's like, oh, you can shoot some. I can shoot some. But I waited.
In my head, you took the time to finish putting your camera away and
Yeah,
doing
well,
up the last
and
couple
she-
buttons on that leather,
She already had her gun pulled out, so
Yep.
she was
leaning against the tripod because it's a big, heavy tripod.
She was just watching, just like with her arm like
Mhm.
this on the.
So right beside you, there's a huge spanging noise, and you look as the least effective shovel attack in the history of the world happens next to you.
Al's gonna shoot the one that he just tried to shovel, especially
Yeah.
since he didn't back up after he was done.
So yeah, you shoulder your rifle and let loose with a shooting rifle, if you wouldn't mind. That
That's a
certainly
10?
hits with 1 raise because there's no cover from that distance. And
and a 12 with some gizzards.
and go ahead and roll me 2d6 with keep all for wind. Finally remember to get everybody to roll wind in this battle. It's usually what puts people out. 6 more. So yeah, boom, and Lucius. Your hat goes in the wind from the gunshot. The smoke kind of wraps around your face, and as it clears, standing in front of you with now 2 holes in its lower abdomen. Your ears ringing one slightly off from the other, so it's kind of doing that siren thing. But the worst part is the damn thing is still standing there looking right in your face. Let's recall all those cards. Call all those.
Sorry, I just now laid mine down.
Shuffle all those cards. And you guys could all roll me another quickness, please.
Oh no. Oh god. Oh
Good
god.
luck. Somebody gets more than one card.
So.
Wow.
Oh yeah, boy.
Nice.
Oh no.
Oh
dear.
no.
That's not good.
So I put the Joker down.
It's okay.
And
They're all
now
going to be 2, so it doesn't matter.
Well, now I can't move it or get to the draw button.
Oh, okay. Let me. Oh, Jett
So,
already drew his 2 cards. Okay.
Yeah, I still can't draw mine.
Okay.
Oh.
2 to Alice, is it?
Yeah, I got an 11.
Okay. There's 2 for you. And Miss
1.
Ellie, how many?
1.
1.
I was so close.
There we go. That's that. And I get 3. 3. Do I get 3? I get 3.
After this, my character is probably going to be working out, jogging, maybe some push-ups.
Reconsidering his take on weapons.
Just like swell up a bit,
So, aces. Who, kings? Was there some foreshadowing in kings? Because queens is me. They are going to stay in where they are. The one standing directly in front of Lucius is going to forget that he has a pistol and attempt to slap you upside the head.
Oh, good sir. Fisticuffs.
7, that is going to hit you.
Done.
And that means you take
A win?
what? Come on, you can do it. There we go. I mean, it's not going to be much. Wow, it exploded. Look at that. You have a body of 6, correct?
I believe so.
So that's 2 wounds to your right leg as it ducks down underneath your attack and just latches onto your thigh. You are going to have to stitch these pants, and it is going to be an absolute pain in the ass trying to get the pinstripes lined up again. But yeah, this thing is just gun all but forgotten in one hand, doing its best to try and take a chunk out of your thigh. Shooting directly over its head, the other one is going to shoot at you.
Great.
Nope, because we're still doing that. The red one shooting at Ellie. And the blue one, in an attempt, is going to move closer and trying to shoot Alice. I know it makes absolutely no difference to the roll, but nope, makes no difference to the roll whatsoever. Apparently, the ammunition is as old as they are, and instead of firing, it's just going pff, and the barrel, the bullets are basically just falling out of the end of the barrel. More rust is blowing off the sides of these things. That's horrible. Jacks. 10s?
Yep.
Oh, many 10s.
God.
10 of spades. 10 of hearts. 10 of diamonds.
That's me.
And then the clubs goes last.
Gotta make that go away. So, can I move through this corner, or do I have to go all the way around the corner?
No, you can cut the 45. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll do 1, 2, I guess 3, 4, 5.
Okay, so
Seeing that
I
one
don't
was
leave for
down.
movement, yeah. Or what's your movement? 10?
10.
Okay, you're still fine then. So they've
So-
only got, it's only going to be +2 because of their cover.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So 7s.
And yeah, I see them because I saw Baptiste shoot that one, and then I see when I get around this corner, I see them lined up, and I have that flashback memory when we were in the field. So I kneel down with it again and line up that shot and go for it again.
Yep. The shotgun rings out. This time you're ready for it. Yep. Go ahead and fire for the second one. Just to make sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got raises on both of them. You're within range. Give me 6d6 damage, please.
All right.
The first one.
Did I roll that right?
Ooh.
The second one. Wow. Okay. That is 3 to the right arm. And that is 4 to the right arm. Okay.
I do have a small question.
Yes.
When I hover over the last one, the 29, it says one of the numbers is a 10. Is that because it added an explosion, or like how did? I just want to know the math on that.
Yeah. At each that one would have exploded once.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was a result of a 10. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So yeah, each one will explode separately. You kind of shear off one side of them. It's all the damages to both right arms, if you notice. And they're both right armed. So there's like chunks of arm missing. The one of them drops his gun altogether because his arm is just hanging by a tendon. The other one is kind of swinging his arm. He's smart enough that he figures if he can get it swung up here, he can shoot with it. But neither one of them has got much control left. They're both in bad shape. Give me first 3d6 keep all for the first guy, and the second one 4d6 keep all for wind damage for these two, please.
Okay. 3d6, and then what was the other? I'm sorry.
The other one was 4d6.
Okay. Keep all 4d6.
Perfect. That makes perfect sense. The one whose the arm actually fell off, like the pistol dropped and the arm is just dangling there, turns and goes to shamble away into the trees, and what's left of that arm catches on a branch and pops off, and it just takes another step and looks down and starts shambling off through the trees. It's trying to get away.
Not today.
Jett is not Pen. I am happy to see this. Don't come back. I can save you. No, shoot him. Shoot him in the back of the head. That was our 10. Are you moving?
I
Oh, you already did. So
yeah, I think I'm good, because if I move anymore, I'll get negatives next time, or I don't know how that works. So I'll leave it. At that.
No, you've got another card this round, right? So yeah, if you've as long as you move 5 or less in that turn, you won't take any penalties from that either.
I'll just wait till my next turn.
Okay. Yeah, they seem to be staying in the trees, trying to use cover. They're just that part's working reasonably well. It's just their shooting isn't. The other 10, Miss Ellie.
I'm gonna turn around and shoot the blue guy.
Okay, he is the one that's fleeing.
Oh, well, cool.
So sorry, let me just put an X on him to let you know. So yeah, that one is actually turning to flee. It's not dead, it's just fleeing. So this one is dead. I'll actually make him go away. Yeah, that hits with 2 raises. Go ahead and roll damage. Just was the blue one that was fleeing?
Yeah.
So before it can get away, you fire. Yeah, go ahead and roll me some damage. 11 to the left leg kick. Roll me some wind. You literally can't fail because you can't roll 0 wind. Yeah, it's you shoot it left leg. Yeah, you shoot it in the left ass cheek, and you see the pelvis sort of explode, and it collapses against the tree. And as it hits the tree, just more pieces come off. And by the time it hits the ground, it's shrapnel.
Lovely.
Would you like to move?
Might move up a little bit. but I'm good there.
Perfect. So that's our 10s, 9s. Ooh, nobody said yes to a 9. Guess who's got an 8? Anybody there got an 8? They got an 8. So the bad luck has to stop sometime. The red one shooting Miss Ellie. That's a hit.
Oh no.
The green one trying to bite. I'll do all the attacks and we'll do all the damage because it's on a different page. So the green one trying to bite Lucius. Just bites Lucius. And the purple one trying to shoot Lucius over the one that's biting Lucius. It's just such a Lucius word. That one misses. So Miss Ellie, you get shot.
Cool.
You take. Uh-oh. Decided you didn't like what
She's
I
like,
just
I
did.
literally just got the ability to
Wanda.
walk.
There it is. Okay.
Oh, it's my
you
arm
take
this time.
1 wound to the right
Oh,
arm.
that's fine. Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. My
You've
arm.
got- you have 2.
I do.
One.
It was just my legs, so it's got to spice
Yeah.
it up a little bit.
You're spreading it around. And
Yeah.
4 points of wind.
All right.
And Lucius, you get bit.
Oh.
So he was gnawing on your
Bites him
leg.
in the gut.
He just reaches up and grabs your belt and hauls himself up, spits out the wool pants right through the waistcoat, right around the belly button. This is going to be a scar. You take 1 wound to the lower guts, but you now
Ow.
have a undead soldier. Well, from certain angles, this looks really rude. Let's just put it that way.
This is not what it
Alice
looks
is
like.
going
This is
Sarah,
not
she
what
was
it
already
looks. This is
there.
not
Yeah,
what it looks
Alice
like.
is at that angle where it does not look.
She starts unpacking the camera.
Like, what is happening?
We're gonna have some fan art tonight, I suppose.
Oh dear.
Dear Penthouse Letters, I never thought it would happen to me.
So, 1 gut wound, you said?
And this was after we decided that we were not a mature channel. We're not. We're an immature channel. That's
Did you say-
the 8s. Oh, 7s.
Kevin, it's one wound, you said?
Yes,
gut
one wound to the lower guts. Yeah.
Uh,
And teeth marks around your belly button. It is canon. And he's missing 1 tooth, so it's not a perfect ring. There's
Okay.
1 tooth missing. There's 1 little gap at the top.
that's gonna bug me.
7s, 6s,
6. I got a 6.
6s. There we go. 2 cards and your best one was a 6.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Don't talk to me.
I'm done. I'll stop now.
So I guess
Thinking to yourself, the first round of this fight went so well. Why doesn't that nice man shoot some more zombies?
so I'm gonna Alice is gonna take a step forward.
This is not what it looks like.
Maybe try to shoot this one without also shooting Lucius.
Yep, absolutely.
So that
it's
she
a
can get a
rifle up
better
close,
angle.
so like you're kind of almost in melee with a rifle, so there would be a
Yeah.
bit of a penalty, but not much. 7 or higher.
If I could find the button.
And when you kill this zombie,
Oh my god!
Oh yeah, that absolutely hits. We're going to bump your when you roll hit location, go ahead, but we're actually going to move it up the body a little bit because of where you're standing and what you're doing. So go ahead and roll me the damage, and you're going to be able to move it anyway. So
Alice, I imagine
Business.
as she's taking this shot, Alice would be like seeing if Baptiste is watching.
What's your angle? Yeah.
17 to the left arm. It's there. Yeah. Because you have the ability, because of your raises, you can move that. So, yeah, you're lining up, and at the last second, you just, not there, there. And you pull the trigger. That is 3 more wounds there. Yeah, you shoot him sort of right in the side of the neck. And there's just an explosion of bones and bits out the back of his chaps where the bullet comes out. You kind of got him lengthways all the way down the body. And yeah, he falls back, leaving a tooth in Lucius's waistcoat.
Is there blood all over me now? Or
Oh yeah, your leg is bleeding, your belly is bleeding. There's a ghoul tooth sticking out of your waistcoat. The stitching alone is going to take hours to fix. But this one is now no more. It has ceased.
And Alice, like, she'll just kind of, like, smile at Lucius. Like,
Yeah, Lucius, this one, I mean, this is another real close explosion. The rifle goes off right here, and your hat kind of gets knocked back square on your head by the second blast.
I feel a bit violated. Thank you.
Sixes. Any other sixes? Fives. I got a 5.
Oh, come on.
So there's only 2 of them left. Let's see how they do this time. They're both going to shoot this time because they
it's
both
Marshal's
have range.
last card, thank God.
Yeah, with 3. The one to the north is just so angry he just can't hit Ellie. Just hits Ellie again for the second time. Sorry, and the second one is going to shoot at Lucius. No, it's going to shoot at Alice. Just hits both of you. So, is this the first time Miss Alice has ever been hit?
I have a wound, but I don't remember
okay.
what it's from.
Well, you just got 2 more to the right leg. And I'll roll your wind for you in a second. Ellie, 2 more to the left leg.
Just got that healed.
Yeah, I know. Right, she's right through the scar. Just like opened it back up. And I need.
That's 2 to the leg.
Yes, please. 1d6 to. Oh no, 2d6. Sorry. Let's just do that. Oh, 11 wind to Alice. And 3 wind to Ellie.
Remind me, if you burn a white chip.
Yes, I was waiting. Somebody was finally gonna. You guys can use these to stop the wounds when they happen, or you can use them to reduce wind. White reduces wind by 5, red by 10, blue by 15.
That's a lot.
And I don't get a chip if you use a red one to take 10 wind back. That's only if you use it to change your dice rolls.
That's a lot of wind. So, because if you use it to do the wound, you still get the wind, right?
You still take the wind.
Okay,
Yeah.
the wind is much more of a concern.
No, sorry, I take that back because if you don't take the wound, you don't take the wind.
Okay. But I got 2 wounds.
Yeah.
So, if I say, hypothetically, if I only had white chips,
Yeah.
could I burn 2 white chips, or can you only
Yes.
burn? Okay.
Nope, you can burn as many as you like.
Well, I'm gonna burn 2 white chips because Alice is
It's
like,
because remember this is the self-payment, right? You
Yeah.
save yourself 10 wound or 10 wind now, but it means you have less experience to spend at the end of the night to make yourself more bulletproof for next week. So
I don't
but
want to hold
dead
my
is-
dress.
Yeah.
And
dead is
Right.
dead. So you take one wind instead of 11.
So I'll take 2 of my white chips away.
And Ellie, you take the 2 wounds in the left leg plus 3 wind.
Yep.
4s.
Finally.
Only 2 cards left. 3 cards left.
I have the 4 of spades.
I got a 4 of 8s. 4 of hearts.
Okay. 4 of 8. I want to make that card now. Jett, you go first.
All right.
It's like the 12th of never, right?
I'm still trying to figure. Okay, so I guess this red one's still over here.
There's a red one right next the red dot, and then the other one would have quite a bit of cover. There's 2 people in a tree and some bushes between you and the purple one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do nothing about that one. And
The red one is also mostly missing an arm and wobbling about like it's getting ready to leave.
Okay, so that's 5. Or not 5. I'm thinking wrong distance. 1, 2,
Yeah.
3. So I'm gonna do something I've never done because he already looks rough, and I don't want to waste ammunition. So can I just put that back in the sling? Because I have the quick sling for the shotgun.
Yep.
And I want to punch him.
You certainly can.
Huh? What?
He's brawling. He's brawling.
I'm brawling. I put some points into this.
He needs to let off some steam.
Oof.
Not enough. That's how many points you put into that was not enough. You throw the punch and you kind of fold your wrist back. Man, you are having a hard time impressing anybody today, Jett.
Hey,
I imagine Baptiste is over there like, I thought this guy was supposed to be like.
Yeah.
I'm not here to impress anybody. That's you. That's you too. Y'all have got something going on. I'm just over here like, I'm here to do my
It's a
job.
battle of the classes over here, okay?
Anything else you'd like to?
What if I wanted, hypothetically, to make that better? I got to remember, if you want to burn a chip to make that roll better, what do you have to do?
You could, with the fate chip, you could roll a white one and roll one extra die, just another D10, and hope that one works. If you burn a red one, you roll a bonus die and add it to your highest current number. And I get one. And if you have a blue one, you roll one, add it to your highest number, and I don't get one.
Baptiste is going next. I don't know that. That's metagaming. Well, using these chips is meta.
We're at the same time. I mean, you might have seen
you
me.
can see.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
running.
It's not like he's
walking.
You know?
He's doing something. So I'm gonna burn a red one. I
imagine
Okay.
Baptiste is just standing there polishing his gun, just like.
So I'll burn a red
He's just standing
one.
watching.
Yep. Do.
Add another. I gotta remember what that die is. Boop. It would be the same one under bronze, so it'd be 1d10.
And this was a red, so we're going to add this to your 2.
6 to hit.
6. That just hits because you needed 5. So 5 is your basic number, the target number. So yeah, go ahead and roll me some punching damage.
I don't.
So you throw the first punch, your fist rolls over, you pull it back, and maybe nobody saw it. Second one catches him.
Fist is just 1d4.
Okay, 1d4. Thank you. Because
Yeah,
I was like,
it shouldn't have any damage listed on your hand-to-hand weapons. It should just say fist, and damage should say 0. And when you roll that damage die, it automatically rolls based on your strength, but there's no bonus for a weapon.
you lost me halfway through it. So just a d4, right?
So just click where it says underneath where it says location. There's a die there. Just click that die.
I don't have fist listed as the issue.
Oh, that's the
I
issue.
forgot to do that. I forgot I had to put a weapon for that.
No problem. Yeah, roll me 1d4 then.
We'll just do that.
There's a 3. Yeah, so yeah.
My apologies. I forgot that is technically a weapon.
No problem. Roll me 1d6 wind.
All right, 1d6. Boop. It's 4.
That was the 4? Okay.
Yeah, the 3 was the
so that
damage.
didn't
In
explode.
that.
So, okay, gotcha. So yeah, you punch it the first time, your fist folds over. You punch it the second time, sort of right in the throat, and you get, and it turns around to walk to try and run away, and just basically runs into a tree, and it's still trying to get away, but yeah, it is no longer. Much like its friend, it is no longer sort of in the fight as we speak. They're winded out is technically what's happened. They're trying to get away. So that's it for you, Baptiste. Our other.
So this red dot one is not in the fight, but is still alive.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So Baptiste just stroll. That's my 3. How far away is the left dot from me?
The purple one is it's down to 10 yards. So
Purple
yeah,
is 10 and the red is 8.
8. Yeah.
All right. So my right hand pistol towards the purple guy in the tree.
Okay.
All right. And that'll give me. Still looking at my guns. Sorry.
Difficulty. No problem.
So the first shot,
That hits. Yep.
the second shot from the right hand, I get to shoot twice. I get to shoot him twice.
Oh yeah. Are you shooting one each, or are you shooting both the purple guy twice?
I'm shooting the purple guy twice, and then I'm shooting the red guy twice. Each gun can shoot twice.
Oh right, of course. Yep.
So that's the purple guy.
Okay.
And now the red guy. Now this is at -2.
Yep. So this will actually be an 11 as a target number. Yep.
All right.
So yeah,
How do you want me to do damage? Purple first?
I don't need you to do damage with those. It's Miss Alice. I don't like to speak for characters, but
I'm so mad.
no, that's not what I was going to ask. I was going to
Oh.
ask if Miss Alice might be just a tiny bit weak in the knees.
I mean,
Because this
but
was
she's also probably, but she's also like, I had it.
yeah, I
Like,
had this, but I mean, let's face it, this
It's the same thing like with the sheriff. You know, the sheriff was
Yeah.
like, pew, pew,
this
pew.
fight started, and this fossil, this aged, decrepit old man, just
that I know.
boom,
Apparently.
boom, 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 and they're all dead. They are all dead. We are out of combat.
I had another card, man.
You had another card, I know.
Sorry.
So, in the deafening silence afterwards, as the breeze blows the gun smoke away, you're looking around. All 5 of them these are Civil War soldiers, and a couple of you in particular. I mean, it doesn't take, and you can all figure out these are old bodies. These have been around for decades. Those of you who would really be in the know, these uniforms are from close to 30 years ago. So right back at the very beginning of the war.
Okay.
You guys still have Jeb hanging over the fence at the southern end of the cemetery with his throat cut from ear to ear. There are still the 3 winding sheets on the ground in front of the mausoleum, whose door you opened up and saw that the bodies inside had done their bouncing, but had stopped, even though they were in the dark. So whatever that effect was seems to have worn off. There's a little bit of bird song in the trees.
And this
And there
is
goes my first pencil of the night. I tend to drop about 3. So
and
I
this
forget
is
I've got them in my hand.
the mausoleum of the. Is this the blacksmith's father's mausoleum?
Yes, that's right. We made this his mausoleum. Yes, the one who was 107 when he
I have
fathered her.
notes, man. I got notes and shit.
So we'll leave this map up, but you guys don't have to move around on it. You can just tell me what you're doing.
Alice
There
is
are
gonna...
some of you are a little wounded, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, I think I'm the most wounded.
The wind will go away in a couple of minutes, so we don't have to worry about that. But
My inner pin is coming out because in the middle of that, I was like, this is why we use cover. But no one ever listens.
All right, well, Pin's not here right now, Jett, so shut up.
Oh, sorry. Y'all are some damn fools.
There we go. There we go. Well, Alice doesn't have a wound and doesn't know nothing about no medicine. So
didn't I just ask you if you? Oh, that's right. You didn't take any wound. You just took wind. Right.
yeah, I do. Yeah, because I did the
Use
chips.
the chips.
I have a light wound in my gut, but I feel like at this point I've had it for so long that it's
A couple days. Yeah, they go away. Yeah, the doctor would have helped you.
Yeah,
out
that's
by
that's an ulcer.
yeah, exactly. It's like
That's just
it's like a
tension.
stomach ache that you can't get rid of. But I'm looking for a death date on dear old dad.
Yeah, he Genevieve was, what did I say, mid-20s? Did I say Genevieve was? So it would have been, he died about 10 to 12 years ago when she was, because she said he died when before she was a teenager, right? So yeah, the math works. You look at the thing, and yeah, he was 100 and whatever it was, 107 when he had
107.
her, and 117 when he died.
There's some more math that doesn't work on that though, but that's okay.
My immediate reaction is to look at the other two because Dallas is striding off looking fine, but I'm assuming the others are kind of shaking
Lucius
up.
comes stumbling out of the trees. Lucius is particularly hideous because he's been bit twice. So there's like a big hole, big rip in his pants.
I struggle to pick up my hat because like my wound and this. I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
And he stands up, and that you see something fall off of his jacket and tunk on the ground. You look down, it's a tooth.
Oh.
I keep the tooth. Research purposes.
I do. I'll walk over, sort of as he's finishing reloading the pistols. Baptiste will walk over to Lucius then, and say, "Why don't you have a quick lie down there and pull up your shirt? Let me see if I can help anything."
Sure. Do you have any medical experience? Just do the thing.
Touch.
The stare. I saw it. I didn't need to make him roll it. I saw it.
So I'm gonna do an attempt on a lay on hands here.
Okay.
Sorry, I gotta double check again real quick.
No worries.
What level would you say this is? Wind, light, heavy?
Which one? I have a 1 to the gut and 2 to the right leg.
You're whatever's the worst.
I'd say my right leg.
Okay.
Which is what, a 3?
It's a 2, I believe.
A 2. Okay, so yeah, that would be your difficulty on that would be it's
10.
Is it a light wound?
Yes, yeah.
That's a 5.
A 5, yeah.
And all right, so do I? Well, I would say this. I'm guessing that with Lucius, there is some sort of spiritual connection here, or is it just professional?
I'm not a stranger to like things like that, so I would say spiritual at this point.
So I guess, Kevin, this is for you to call. If I know him well enough over the last day and a half to be able to add his faith score to my own.
I would say part of it because of the way that you guys have actually bonded over this whole cemetery and dead experience, and partly because of what kind of person he probably is, because he's from the city of Lost Angels.
Okay.
So you understand that he at least understands faith. So yes, I would say he gets that for this.
All right. So what's your faith score?
My faith score?
Yeah.
I maxed it out to 5.
Woo, this is gonna go well. Maybe. 9. Let's hope. I hope I make this. All right, there we go. So that is
Wow.
that is made with quite a few raises.
Yeah.
So now I don't know if that's going to bleed over to heal others, or if that's just going to straight up heal the leg.
Because of the way that it worked, that it was both of you involved in this, this would have been sort of one of those moments where it kind of transcends what was, it started off as a simple heal, and then there was this sort of moment. And I would say that that's going to give you a total of 3 wounds back anywhere on your body.
Wait a minute. I'm so sorry, Kevin. And what was the total? So the total wounds you had was what now?
I had 3 wounds, 1 to the gut, 2 to the leg.
So that is a 13, not a 16. In case that changes
That's
anything.
still 2. So yeah,
Okay.
The leg is completely healed.
Okay.
That gives you two full wounds back. So yeah, the leg is completely healed.
So I know what this is, right? Would I know what this is?
Given your background as an undertaker, you probably would have seen something like this before.
I'm probably going to say to him, "Are you my savior or my judgment?" I'm confused. Like I'm in awe. Like an awe.
Because if everybody's still sort of gathered around, Baptiste will just sort of look around for real quick and say, it's probably just the shock talking. How's he looking? Is it still pretty bad with the other leg and the gut?
I think you're down to one wound now, right? Just on
Yeah,
your,
just to the gut.
Yeah. The bite mark to the belly.
All right. So then he'll sort of switch his hands and sort of lay his hand on your sort of right up below your sternum, not on the wound. And you can see he's sweaty at this point, and he kind of loosens his collar and says, all right, just bear with me here. One more time. And what's the total number of wounds here? It's just the one?
It's just one.
One.
Yeah.
So this will be... My target number is still 5, but now it's -1. So it's a 10.
Yeah, easy. Lucius. The first one kind of shocked you because he just kind of bam and the leg was done. But now you know what's coming this time.
Yeah.
And you concentrate. And there's a feeling that you haven't had for a very long time. And it kind of sparks a memory. When you were really young, you were sick, really sick. Nobody talked about it after you grew up, but you were just about dead. And one day, one of your aunts, your mother's sister, came in the room and went, shh. And she put her hand on your chest, the same way that Baptiste just did to you now. The same warm flow happened, except this time, the bleeding stopped. Last time, you could breathe when she was done. And again, she goes, shh. Just in this memory, she goes, shh, and then goes like that. And this yellow slime that used to be in you comes off of her hand and just against the wall. And it starts to slide down the wall and disappear. By the time it gets to the floor, it's gone. For the third time, she turns to you and goes, shh, and walks out of the room.
Little me probably just nods.
There's a big party going on in the next room. It's New Year's. Baptiste, you see him glaze, and for a second, it's like this isn't how most people respond to me healing them.
I'm actually, as soon as I see the wounds close up, I actually look over my shoulder and, because Ellie's the other person that's hurt.
Yeah. He will not be stymied 2 nights in a row.
I was busy during this.
No, it's fine. I'm happy to take a step back.
Oh, we have a lot of healers. We should call this too many clerics.
I am not a cleric.
Consider this a wedding present.
Or just too many healers.
Just don't touchy subject, man. Touchy subject.
So while you're working on Lucius and you guys have that sort of moment, Ellie, here comes Jett again. I touch you.
No, this will be
in character.
A much different approach. I'm just looking for Ellie to see what she's doing, like right after this has happened, and how she is.
What does he see? Okay, I think she's actually frozen. I don't think. Yeah,
Yep,
nobody
I
can
think
hold
so.
the position that long.
That's
Damn.
right.
Okay. Well, that's all right because I just looked at the time, and it's that time.
Yep.
So let's take this opportunity to hopefully fix our technical issue with our camera and have ourselves a little 15-minute break. Producer, is there something different about our break starting today? She's back already, but we're going to take our break anyway. Is there something different about our break today?
Oh Oh, yeah. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, Marshal Kevin, because I refuse to discuss it. I do not sell out. I am here to preach. Okay. Hey, yeah, so little things about our break today. You'll notice that we're going to be running an ad. We can now do that now as affiliates. So it's not going to extend our break at all. We're still just going to have about a 10-minute video, and we're going to have a 2-minute ad on either side. When we come back, we'll have the cameras all fixed, hopefully, as well. So it'll be same amount of break, about 15 minutes. So go ahead and do your bio breaks and get your beverages and all that good stuff. And you'll still get an awesome video from Roll for Initiative, and then we'll be back. All right, well, that was a much needed break. I don't know, but that there fight done pooped me out. Couple of these here fellas got wounds and need healing too. Let's see how that goes. Old Jett, the wound healing monster's bearing down on Ellie. I don't know.
Oh, wow. I'll say it before, I'll say it again. Well, we pay for it with that producer. Anyway.
Speaking of which, I'm fixing the cameras. Hold on.
Oh, okay. And I'll say it again too. And I say this about a man who can make me disappear with just a swipe of a mouse. So I better be more polite. While we're getting our cameras back where we need to get our cameras, let's just quickly recap this. So you guys are now, you're in the middle of a mess. There's dead, undead all over both sides of this road. There's a mausoleum full of bodies. There's 3 missing bodies. There's an ex-gravedigger impaled on a fence with a very sharp cut from ear to ear. What? And some wounded people. So what would we like to do? I believe we should probably start with Jett.
So, contrary to what everyone's making me out to be, I'm just looking to see where Ellie is and see what's going on with her. And if she is wounded, I'm going to approach her. But, just kind of, because Baptiste has got Lucius on his back over there doing things. So yep. I'm just looking, and Miss Alice has already gone off to some other mausoleum. So I'm just looking for Ellie.
No, I came back, just for the record. So I'm just staring at Baptiste, basically.
Yeah, I'm just in the...
Alice has her phone out making a GIF. Sorry. Ellie?
Yeah, no, I'm just kind of standing. Maybe I'm kind of leaning against a tree a little bit because my legs, once again, not...
Yeah, you're looking down at it, and like I said, it went... The son of a bitch shot you right through the same wound where the train went. So it's like right through the stitches.
Ooh. It's like a pool of blood under.
Yeah. All your weight's on one leg. You're leaning against a tree. Jett comes over with... What face have you got on, Jett?
It's like when you're looking at a wounded animal. It's like it'll bite you if you're not careful. So it's just that kind of like, I'm really concerned about you, but I'm also very cautious. It's just very like, you doing all right?
Is it bad that I've been shot twice and somehow I'm in better shape than when we got to this graveyard?
I mean, I've heard stranger things. But
I kind of glance over at Baptiste. I've seen Stranger Things.
Yeah. And I see what he's doing, and I'm like, I think I could do that, but I don't know. I'm not. If you want help, I'm over here, but I'm not gonna, and I'm just kind of keeping my distance, just very
I'm gonna reach out my hand and say, if you'll allow me to take your hand. Why don't you show me what you were going to show me earlier?
All right. And I reach my hand out and I'm like, I do. It's odd. I have to. Here, I'll show you, and I'll stand back here first. And I pull out my knife, and I'm essentially giving I start off on my arm, and I'm just going to take just the tip of it and kind of just drag it about 3 inches.
What are you doing?
And I'm just like, trust me. And I drag it 3 inches, not just to scar, not to like do a deep gash.
Okay.
So I do
you
that.
Feel that pulsing. It's coming.
And then I'm like, this one's gonna be a little more alarming, but trust me. And then on my left arm, I guess again on the top, I'm just gonna. What constitutes like one wound? Like what do I have to do? Can I just push the blade into my arm, or do I? Okay. And I'm just gonna take it, and I'm gonna try to aim not for bone, and I'm just gonna like kind of jab it in my arm. And I'm just like, I promise.
All of you can see this.
I'm not crazy. I don't think.
He's now bleeding out of both arms. And
I'm just going to
Jett,
grab his hand and be like, Jett, stop, you're hurting yourself.
you can hardly hear.
Okay, so I have now, theoretically, I have 4 of these things to work with. So
Yep.
what I need to know, just what are the level of your wounds, Ellie, and where are they? And I'm going to let you put my hand there, but I'm going to ask just so I know for numbers.
Okay, I have 2 to my left leg, 1 to my right arm.
Okay, 2 to your left leg, so that's a heavy wound. I'm going to, and you said 1 to your right arm?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my hand and put it in yours. I'm gonna be like, put my hand on your leg, and I'm just kind of like, I'm really sweating. I look like odd, but like,
Jett, the second she takes your hand, you realize that's going to be enough. Just contact.
Oh, and I'm like, and I just, as soon as my hand touches, I just let it flow through, and I don't even, I'm like, never mind, and I just kind of pause and finish,
That's 4 points, right? And
yeah,
we
so
determined
that'll do a heavy wound. It'll do a heavy wound, and then I'd have 1 point left over. So I don't know.
For the light wound. Yeah.
Light one takes 2, doesn't it? It's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Unless
Okay, right,
you're the marshal.
No, that's okay. I wrote it. I don't have to remember it. I wrote it on your papers. Yeah, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So yeah, well, let's do it this way. The leg wound heals up completely. Ellie, you feel it knitting back together. Like you just hobbled around for 2 days on crutches. This guy just fixed half that problem by holding your hand for a second. And your arm, you feel it. The wound doesn't close up, but it stops bleeding. And it's not getting any worse.
I had to roll wind for myself.
Yep. And you look down at Jett, and yeah, he's shaking. And bleeding out of both arms. One arm's just a scratch. Just a scratch. You know when you scratch yourself just enough to leave that little line of blood? And if you wipe it off, it kind of usually doesn't even come back. It's just that much. It's just going to leave one of those little white lines. The other arm, I mean, the dude stabbed himself with a knife.
I'm going to rip the bottom of my shirt and wrap it around his arm and push it there to try to help with the bleeding. I mean, I don't know anything about medicine, but...
Yeah.
And then... That's a very cool trick, but maybe next time let's just go to a doctor, okay?
And I was kind of like kneeled on the ground, just breathing and just trying to get myself together. But I look up and I'm just grinning. And I'm just like, I told you I could do it. And I'm just kind of like faltering a little bit. And I don't even have to touch the wound, apparently. It's just touch finger if you want. It's
Give me a vigor check, Jett, please.
oh boy, good thing I put all those points in.
This is all about vigor. This is what you do now. 7. Okay. You're awake. You're going to be able to stay awake, but if you stop doing stuff and sit still for any length of time, you're gonna be napping. Like you're at that, from tired, right? Like what it's like to be tired, and if you don't keep moving, you're gonna sleep.
All right. So I pushed myself up and just kind of. All right. That's that.
You look around you, and those faces.
Can I do an occult check on him?
You certainly can.
I'm just looking like, what? And then I kind of remember that I just did something that isn't exactly normal. Oh, he knows.
It's it's magical healing, which on a personal level you're familiar with. But there's something different. You've seen hucksters. You know hucksters. They use cards. There's always a game involved. That scarification, that tearing himself up, it's like nothing you've ever seen. It's definitely magic, but it's not like magic you've seen.
And then I say, well, I'm not a healer of faith or magic, but I'm an old-fashioned healer. Can I just take a look at your scars quickly, Jett? And if I...
Ellie is still holding the shrapnel of shirt around his wound on his arm.
Did he cut himself twice?
Yep.
I scarred myself on this arm, but it is not a wound. It is literally just like a scratch with blood coming out of it. I have a wound on my left arm where I stabbed myself.
Well, I have like a medical kit, basic medical tools and stuff like that. So,
yeah, you can absolutely make a medicine check if you want, and if you want to let him.
Well, I don't know. I can't ask her, so I don't know. Is there like a gut feeling check I could do to know if this would negate what I've done by fixing it?
You think about it for a second, and without any direct influence from her, you kind of put yourself in her shoes. If there was a price to pay for doing something, and then every time you did it, you took the price back, would be kind of rude.
So I'm just gonna...
You get the impression, I'll do just one more sentence.
Oh, yeah.
You get the impression that when you walked out of the sheriff's office and did it to yourself, like when you did the scar to get rid of the wound, you get the impression that one was okay, but it was kind of bad form. Right? You're supposed to wear the scars. You're supposed to wear the wounds.
Okay. So as he approaches, I'm going to be like, I don't know if it works like that, partner. I'll let this one heal up on its own.
Well, for sure. I just don't want you to get an infection. You can't solve everything by magic, Jett.
Yeah.
Have you always been able to do that?
Not as far as I know. I only recently figured out that I could do it.
How on earth did you figure out a trick like that?
Oddly enough, came to me in a dream for once.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Anytime.
After all this, Alice is going through her bag, hoping that there's some kind of sample from Anastasia's strong ass vodka somewhere in the bottom of her bag.
Yep.
She's like, nope.
Yep.
She's
You
noped
find
out.
she must have slipped it in when she gave you the big hug. What you find is a weirdly shaped flask. It kind of goes like that, like it's wide at the top, and then it kind of hourglass shape, and then at the bottom, and it's slightly curved in one direction. You realize It's a boob flask. It's designed to sit right here. It's in your pack, and it's full of the new strong homemade vodka. You open it up, have a sniff, and it's just
Alice is like, and just whoop.
Yep.
Downs a swig.
Yep. So yeah, you have a stiffener.
Can I
and
see
you,
that? Because I was I just
Well,
kind
you
of
guys are all standing in a big circle, basically, unless somebody tells me different.
I
Like
just smiled to
she
myself.
kind of would like take a step back before she, like
You had to go dig through your pack too, so.
Yeah. I imagine she found somewhere relatively clean to sit it and kind of sift through it.
Yeah,
looking
and
for
as you were
this.
doing that, as you're looking through your pack, you find the flask, you pull it up, and it takes you a second. It's like, oh, that's what it's for. Okay, haha. You look up, and just off the trail in front of you is one of those dead undead soldiers. And you notice in the process of trying to get away, this is the one that tore his arm off. He ripped off a fairly large chunk of his uniform here.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see a very clean cut that's stitched together very crudely.
Is it just his arm laying there, or
This is the body
is
itself.
it
The arm got torn
okay.
off, and it's kind of hanging from the tree in a kind of hideous sort of
Okay.
branch. Yeah.
But he's re-dead.
Yep.
I guess,
you
right?
look a little closer, and I don't know if you've ever seen autopsy scar, the big Y.
Oh, the Y.
Down to there, and then all the way down to there. This looks very much like that. It's cut, clearly done by a professional, but it's stitched up very quickly, like, because you wouldn't bother making it nice, right? You're going to bury them. So
Alice will maybe hazardly, but she just had a swig of vodka, so whatever.
Mhm.
She's gonna go take a look at that a little closer.
Give me an investigate.
Let's see. Would that be, what is that? That scrutinize or
Scrutinize. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
use the right terminology for the game we're playing this evening.
It's all right.
Not the terminology from the game we played in the previous 2 evenings. There you go. That is a scrutinize. That is a correct result.
Yes.
You look down, and it's clear as day. This happened post-death, as it would. It looks like somebody has done a true autopsy. They've gone in and broken the ribs, and at some point they opened up the chest cavity. They put it all back together. You're looking at that, and it seems kind of weird for a dead soldier. And the other one is just a couple steps away. And as you look at that one, what catches your eyes is that the lips and the eyes and the nose are stitched shut.
From where she is, I imagine this is like in this general, like over here.
Yeah, basically where you
okay.
guys are on the map.
So from where she is, she is going to Baptiste.
Yeah.
You should come have a look at this.
All right. So from where he was, we're all still pretty close to clustered up.
Yep.
So he was sitting on the ground, resting, and all that kind of stuff. And Jett, are you near Baptiste by any chance?
I assume we're within like 10 feet of each other because I saw you doing him on the ground, and I went over there and did that.
Okay. As Baptiste is sort of, because he still looks pretty exhausted and kind of stuff, he just kind of reaches his hand up for at Jett to have. Yeah, help me out.
And I'll take him and pull him up.
Before he touches me, Baptiste casts protection on himself.
Okay.
So this is a contested spirit versus my faith. And if he loses, an evil spirit cannot touch me.
Okay. That's
So
fair. Yeah.
I have
So
to
go
make
ahead.
a
What was it? What are the rolls?
It is his
Testing.
spirit
Yeah. Spirit
against
versus-
my faith.
All
So
right.
let's have those rolls.
It's not that high.
Might not have to be.
Also, it's Marshall's ruling on if that wording works for this situation, but Baptiste doesn't know.
Yep.
He's testing the theory.
Just you cast it on yourself and you grab his hand and he pulls you up.
Okay.
He can touch him. There is a residue. It's not evil, but something that you would qualify, Purple Stolen Mind, would qualify as an evil spirit has been here.
But Jett is not an evil spirit. He can help me up. That's what
Yeah.
I'll keep the rest of that in mind. But in this split second, that's what Baptiste
That's what
is
you
looking
get as
at.
you stand up, just to sort of like
Yep.
something was here yesterday and you can smell it.
And thank you. Miss Alice, what is this?
I'll show him the that there's clearly been an autopsy done, and kind of everything that she was looking at. Does this not seem odd for a soldier?
Well, I mean, a lot of autopsies weren't really being performed regularly in the war, but honestly, I do believe that Lucius might be the better person to ask.
And there was, as a priest, you would know that there's no autopsy in the world that involves stitching their faces shut.
Yeah, but this one is rather disturbing. Now, does that ping anything I can do? Occult?
Yeah, give me an occult check. That makes sense.
All right. Super good at it.
That's enough. In seminary school, there was, you know how it is, all those young men telling stories, trying to impress each other in the monastery. And one of them tells a story about their father that went to these far off islands. And in these distant islands, there were, where was I going? I lost my story. I had a great story and I just forgot it. Sorry, what was the question before you rolled?
If the stitching up the face.
Okay. Wow, there's a moment. Let's take that out in editing, and we don't do editing, so it's live forever. On this island long ago, his father went there, and in an effort to prevent evil spirits from escaping, the locals used to stitch the faces shut of the dead, so that if they were infected with an evil spirit, it couldn't get out. It seems to be something like what's happened here.
Okay. So Baptiste will kind of wave folks the rest of the couple of steps closer and sort of explain that and just the idea of whether or not it's superstition, which often enough, scary enough, is based in some sort of truth. But if there was something inside of them making them act up and dance, come back to life and attack us. But as far as the autopsy goes, that's really outside of my realm of expertise, I am afraid.
I feel like I would know something about this.
Oh, absolutely. What is your trade? Do we have trade Undertaker? Was that one?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, give me that.
Okay.
One of those ones that when you're making a character, you're thinking, oh, how often am I going to get to use this? Well,
yeah, I was thinking that
right
same
friggin'
thing.
now is when you're going to get to use this. Give me some Undertaking test. that is an exceptional result.
Crap.
What?
And that was on the first die.
That
You rolled
thing
4 more after that
exploded
just to
so
see.
many times.
43 on a 12-sided die. That is 3 12s in a row,
Yeah.
and then a 7.
Jesus.
He
Lucius
is the
just
world's greatest Undertaker.
it
Wow,
texts
this is where
back
all-
and forth.
Well,
this is my
where all my
design.
2s and 3s
I
came
know,
from earlier. They
I'm
were
a-
piling up on this.
I'm obsessed with death, so of
He
course I would
like
know
he
this
like
stuff.
pulls out a book that he wrote on this very
So
topic, and
here's-
it's like
Here's the deal, Lucius. This very quickly all starts to make a lot of sense. You go and look at the other 2 bodies, and the one that seemed to have a little more brain in, like a little more intelligence intact, the one that was actually trying to hide himself. You make your way around the 5 of them, and it is clear that somebody with a tremendous amount of skill has been experimenting on these bodies after they're dead. Somebody, and this is the weird part, and boy, oh boy, a 43, somebody is bringing these bodies back from the dead and then trying to reverse that process and get the bodies to live a real life again. You recognize a number of different techniques that you were taught when you were in undertaking with your father. That again, some of them are like old wives' tales. Some of them were First Nations stories, preservation techniques you'd heard of in the past. But they're all about the same thing. They're all about reanimating a body and then getting that reanimating force out of that body.
It's truly something that resonates with me, actually. Oh my god.
Out
So
of
how much of that do
Miskatonic
you
University.
share? Yeah.
I tell that everything about that and explain that.
And he walks you through the process. And, you know, the one that had the big Y shape, he presses on it and it's empty. They've taken out all the internal organs, but it still was animated. The one with its head stitched shut, he kind of pulls the lips apart a little bit, or, you know, gets a torch lit and shines it up the nose. They've taken everything out of the head, but it's still animated. These
I'll
things,
take
they
another
did 5
drink.
different things to try and bring these things back and then drive the spirit out.
So,
I'm taking another swig.
are you saying we're dealing with some sort of necromancer?
I'm surprised you know what a necromancer is, Jett.
I kind of figured that's common knowledge.
Pins back.
No, I ain't got no time for necromancy.
I suppose it's how do I how would I explain that?
I'm just going to sit back and let you try.
Oh god. It's maybe it's one form, but I feel like it's many different forms that they were just kind of experimenting on, just science, magic, everything really. Just
If there's so many different techniques, do you think there's more than one person involved in this?
it's a possibility. I would have to maybe do a scrutinized check, or maybe.
You rolled a 43.
Okay.
You go back and look again. It's a very firm professional hand that did this. And it appears, just from the technique, that it would appear, it would seem that it's all the same person.
Yeah, okay, because the stitching is the same.
But these 5 people were spread out over the course of 3 or 4 years. They didn't all die at the same time.
Interesting. I share that information.
Lucius, if regardless of the more supernatural things at work here, you're saying that it would be a trained medical professional that did this.
Yes, like I said, they're going through all the angles. It's not just supernatural, it's even a little bit of science too, if I had to get.
Alice says, by the way, did anyone get a look at Jeb and see exactly what happened to him?
I guess I go expect.
I just, in my mind, am remembering a cold hand against my face after they have that conversation.
And those of you that choose, make your way over to Jeb.
I will.
Yeah,
And-
I would go too.
Probably no shock now. It is a perfect cut. Right down, right across the jugular. Extra pressure was applied right there as needs be to get through the tough bony bits and back up the other side. This is a perfectly clean cut delivered by someone who understands anatomy intimately.
So this is medical. Good. I mean, given that if the same person that reanimated these creatures did the same cut to Mr. Early's neck, must have used like a scalpel of some sort. I'm thinking.
And how long ago did you say those autopsies looked like they'd been done?
Was it every 3 years?
They're spread out over the course of sort of 5 or 6 years, but the latest one would have been sort of 12 to 15 years ago at least.
Oh, good. So somebody has.
The oldest uniforms were almost 30 years old.
But the oldest autopsy was like 12 years.
Again, most of if I gave that impression, it was wrong. The impression I should have given was that it appears the autopsies were done very shortly after death.
Okay.
3 winding sheets sitting over by the mausoleum. Not
Lucius,
these people, but right. Somebody needs the bodies fast.
Is it possible that the same person has been doing this all this time?
I think that's what he was saying. Yeah.
And that same person has now, after all this time, decided that it was Jeb's time to die. So maybe Jeb was on to something, or he saw something that he wasn't supposed to.
I think perhaps. Are there other people around? Not just
the only
5 of us.
The only other person that was near here would have been Pastor Dean. And you have a vague recollection of a large behemoth booking for town as soon as the gunfight started. Gunfart? That's not a good thing. No, gunfight started. So at the moment, it's only you guys. Because, well, that's only because you guys forced the ceremonies to be done, right? So you guys got an extra day and a half here. So. At the moment, the cemetery is empty.
It seems, Lucius, that perhaps we should pay our doctor friend a visit.
I was thinking the same thing. Who else would have that kind of knowledge, medical knowledge?
Do you really want to tip your hand so soon?
What's to be gained by sitting around and waiting for her to bring back another half a regiment?
Now, I agree that the evidence supports this, but I don't want to jump the gun. That woman's been nothing but kind to us since we've been in town, and a lot's been happening. I'm not saying she's innocent, but I just don't want to go in guns a-blazing, per se. It's
a very odd coincidence that she's the only one who has medical knowledge. And
that we know of.
And did I not tell you about the Circle of Ravens and what that meant? It kind of fits with the occult and the medical sciences. Who else would have that kind of knowledge?
Well, I mean, we also didn't think that the banker was the leader of occultists, so I'm just saying she may not be the only one in town that has some unknown skills.
She's our first place to start to looking at. We don't have to shoot her in the head the second we see her. I think it's a person that we should speak to.
I mean, I don't disagree with you there. When we first got to this town, we were warned about the banker, the doctor, the blacksmith, the pastor, and the undertaker, which some of those are gone now. There are very few of those left.
Perhaps they're all connected.
I don't know. And I'm just looking down at the zombie remained undead, and I'm just like, this ain't right. When You know, it may sound hypocritical coming from me, but when you're dead, you're
Drip, drip. Yeah.
And there were in the winding sheets, there were 3 more bodies, is that right?
There are 3 missing bodies. Yes, that's what you now have time to ascertain. Those winding sheets are empty, and you put no empty ones in that room last night, and nothing that you saw, the 2 of you that put them in that mausoleum the night before, absolutely nothing gave you the impression that they were capable of getting themselves out of there.
So we have a grave robber.
I'm not the best tracker, but if anyone would like to take a look around here, and looking towards the winding sheets, the missing ones.
Alice will give it some tracking a go.
I don't think I'm the best tracker.
Or search or whatever you want, really.
Give me a tracking. If you're going to start at the winding sheets and try and work your way out from there.
It's a 14.
All right. Yeah. That works. Anybody else?
I'll try to give a tracking. Oh wait, never mind. I didn't put points in that. So
Okay.
I thought I did.
Wow.
With this game, it's like if there's no points in it, like what's that? Wow.
Yeah,
there's no
one
Why?
dice -4, right? Even if you're rolling d12s, you're probably not going to do well. I mean, you could explode. You could roll a 43 -4 and still have a 39. So, you guys are kind of. It's still a little shocking. You put it all together, and there's some conclusions that may or may not be comfortable. Miss Alice, you find it's real subtle at the start, but once you start to see it for what it is,
I got them photographer eyes.
It's a small cart, like a cart one person would pull. It's got the 2 wheels, the little flatbed, and then just the 2 arms that stick out the front like a little pull cart.
Mm-hmm.
One of those has started by this mausoleum. It goes south, almost to where Jeb is, along the fence, back up north through the gate, and back into the trees. And as you follow it into the trees, you find a not well-worn, but maintained track. Like the grass is growing. Somebody doesn't use this very often, but they've kept it clean over the time that they've been using it. And it heads wobbles and twists, but it's heading back towards town.
And I would have been showing everyone what I was seeing, and
I haven't moved yet. I'm still. It's just the moment the words left my mouth, it was this odd mixture of emotion. It's like once you're dead, and then I remember some things, and I'm like, right?
Yeah. Well, I imagine Alice. I imagine that it might just be Alice, Baptiste, and Lucius. I don't know, but. She's at the very least, since Baptiste specifically asked, she's at the very least pointing it out, and whoever follows.
Oh, I guess I was about to take down Jett, but I'll follow and I'll come back after that.
If I notice they're all gone, I'll follow, but it's definitely going to be a moment of, oh, shit.
Yeah, you turn around and have that oh, shit moment and take a step towards them. And the graveyard's gone.
I was waiting with Jett, by the way, so I'm still.
Oh, you're with Jett? Okay.
Yeah. I'm still holding the cloth on his arm, trying to stop the bleeding.
Okay.
So I'm gripping his arm right now. Yeah.
Oh boy, am I so glad you said that.
Uh-oh.
He turns and goes, "Oh, they're gone," and takes one step. And you kind of, "What are you doing?" "I'm holding your." And both of you are standing in a field. Ellie, you're kind of there, but not there. You can feel the pressure of your fingers holding this cloth on Jett's arm, but you look down and your feet are sort of 2 inches off the ground. It's like you're not quite in sync with this place. But you're so in sync with Jett right now that he brought you here. And you look up, and for the first time, you see this beautiful First Nations woman standing in the field just ahead of you. Long, dark hair. She's middle-aged. She's older than both of you. Long, dark hair, leather, and beadwork all over. Knee-high moccasins. And she looks at Jett and looks at you and kind of looks slightly confused at you, but goes back to Jett. It says, "Look behind you."
To me or her?
To you.
And I turn around.
And there's this field behind you because you just walked across it apparently. And the reason that you know you walked across it is because you can see your boot marks. And everywhere your boot marks landed, the wheat is dead. Just gray dirt everywhere your foot has landed. And you look back up at Raven, and she says, "Don't worry, that's the past. Think an amazing thought, Jett, and take one step forward." Don't tell me what you think. We're going to get to that.
Okay.
Just tell me when you take the step forward once you figure out what that amazing thought is.
Oh, geez, man. How about I take the step and later?
You got a couple seconds.
Oh, shit. Okay. Okay. And I think about it and I take the step forward.
And as your foot lifts up, you can't help yourself. You turn back and look. It's another gray footprint. Except under the heel, there's a little bit of color. And Raven steps forward. And Ellie, you can look down, but you can't interact. You can't move. But you're there. I mean, you can see this. You see this woman. You see her talking to Jett and Jett talking back. And you see his eyes look down and you see this burnt footprint in the ground. And there's this little bit of color in the center of it. And Raven bends down and kind of grins and says, "Come on, little one. Come on." And it kind of unfolds itself. And it's a little tiny, tiny flower, about an inch tall. Jett, what does that flower look like?
I guess in this place it'd look like a moonflower. It'd be like they only bloom at night and they're just kind of white and opened up. Almost, it's kind of similar to a lily, but it's its own.
And she looks up at you and says, "What were you thinking when you made this?"
I was and I just kind of looked down. I was thinking about Mom and everything she taught me.
And there's a visible ripple that goes through her. And you realize the body in front of you isn't a physical body. It's an emotional projection. And you hit it right in the heart with those words. And she, for a second, looks back down at the flower and then looks back up at you. She says, "I think we'll call it..." And you're back in the cemetery. Ellie, you're back with them. And Jett, the sun's in your eyes because you're not wearing your hat.
My hat's gone.
Flick, 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 look around. Just in front of you, about 10 feet in front of you, hanging from apparently nothing, there's a single strand of spider web. Just one strand, and at the end of it, your hat is just rotating ever so slowly. And every time it comes around and the light hits that feather, blue, blue, blue. But halfway around, every time, inside the hat, inside the crown of the hat, there's another little flash of color. It's a tiny bit of green and a tiny bit of silvery gray.
Can I tell what it says? I mean, I'm gonna
You walk up. Yeah, it's just ahead of you, so you have to walk up and take that hat.
Yeah, so I'm gonna walk up to it and kind of look, and then I guess take it gingerly.
And you look inside, and done in the finest, tiniest beadwork you've ever seen. There's got to be 100 beads per square inch. 1,000 shades of gray and silver. And 100 shades of green for the stem. And there is an almost perfect representation of your flower inside your hat. And around it in a language that is not English. It's symbolic, it's shapes and letters, but you can read it. It says, I think we'll call it Bituna. And you know Bituna means hope.
I just kind of have it in my hands, and I was already like, there were already tears starting to well up when we were there. So did I notice Ellie, or was I too...
You tell me.
I probably...
You know she's here now. I mean, you can feel, you kind of move, when you reach for the hat, she kind of doesn't move with you, and there's a kind of a tugging.
I would have noticed, and I definitely would have been like, someone else is in this place with me, and like,
Yeah.
But I also
Okay.
in that moment would have been jerked right back by what was happening. So now with here holding this hat in my hands with my tears welling up, I'm just gonna say, I'm not even gonna turn around and be like, you saw it too, right? Her, all of it.
She's beautiful. Who is she?
And I just turn around a little bit, and you can clearly see like there's just it's just there. The lines are there. I'm not openly like just sobbing, but it's very clearly coming down. I'm just like,
He's cowboy crying.
I don't know, but I know she's the reason that I'm here, the reason I didn't die in that mine, and the reason I was able to help you just a while ago.
Do I see the moonflower bead thing?
Do you show her?
I had it in my hat, and as I turned around, I would have put it on. I'm not trying to hide it, but I didn't think to be like, oh, hey, look at this.
You saw the flower, and you saw Raven. You don't know that's her name, but you saw her sort of rise it up. What it looks like is that he summoned it, but then stood on it, and she had to kind of, like, he's got the right ideas, just his timing isn't very good yet. And she fixed that. And so you've seen the flower, you know what it looks like. And you heard her say, I think we'll call it. And then you pop back to here.
I just gesture to it and I say, that must be a gift for you from her?
Yeah, you saw his hat.
Do you know what she wanted to call it?
From my understanding, it translates to hope.
Fitting for a man like you, Jett.
Yeah. Here's hoping.
And I just, I wrap my arms around him and I just say, I don't know you very well. I don't know who you've lost, but you're not alone, okay?
Thank you. None of us are now, at least.
It's hard to feel that way sometimes, but you're right.
Yeah, and I'm just overwhelmed is the best way to describe it. It's just he's stoic. Tears were there. This has been a long day.
Does she come to you often?
And I guess I step back and I'm just like, you know, Not as often as I wish, but I've seen her more often lately than I have ever. That was part of the reason I was so excited. I guess earlier today was when it was actually earlier today because she came to me in a dream and taught me that if I give a little bit of me, I can give a little bit back.
Listen, about what happened, I want you to know that that's not me. I don't like physical contact, but I'm not scared of people. You can't be in my profession if you are. It was just
and right there,
seeing all the things that I didn't understand.
As you were saying that too, I would have just put my hands up and just been like, Ms. Ellie, I know. I've seen you. I've been around you long enough I may not understand everything you've been through, but I certainly can get somewhat of an understanding, and it's okay. I know who you are, at least for the most part, and I trust you. And I was overzealous and misread a situation, and that's my fault. Or misrepresented the situation, as it were. So.
And I think losing the loss of both my legs and whatever we saw with the train spooked me a little bit more than I would like to admit. But for what it's worth, I trust you as well. And I don't trust easily.
Yeah. The others have got a long way to go for me, but they seem like good people.
Lucius is kind, and Miss Alice is very intriguing. Can't say I can trust Baptiste. I appreciate his efforts. However, what condition my body is in is not his decision.
I can understand that. I don't know anything about him either. He's the hell of a shot, but outside of that, I just kind of shake my head. So, and I'm also at this point, I realize we're not with them. Would I have noticed any bit of them? Or are they gone?
I would have seen where they went.
Yeah, you know where they went. One quick question before we leave this. Jett, do you trust Ellie?
Yeah, pretty well implicitly. Out of everyone, like I'd say she's probably the one that he feels he trusts the most. No offense to anybody else.
Miss Ellie, there's a tickle in your left hand. About halfway through that conversation, but it was so intense you just kept the eye contact and you continued on. You almost forgot about it, but when he turns and kind of gives you that look like, where is everybody? You look down inside your left hand, and there's a tiny silver flower.
Do
you hold
I
it
show
up?
it to him, and I just say, I guess the trust is mutual then.
Is it, when you say silver, do you mean it's a literal living flower or is a flower made of silver?
It is a living flower. If you had plucked the one that was in your footprint, this could be it.
And I look at it and I'm a little bewildered, to be honest, because it was a touching moment, but I'm just like, huh.
I'm going to take the flower and tuck it into like my breast pocket.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well.
Jett, I just have a question. Do you have any siblings?
Yeah. And for the first time in a minute, I actually think about Bart, and there's a moment of revelation as all the dreams I had been having kind of rush over me, and I'm like, yeah, I do. Like, it was at first, it was like, yeah, then it's just like, yeah, I have
a big word, isn't it?
A younger brother. He's back home. I hope.
I could tell. You have that older sibling air about you. Very protective of the people you care about.
Yeah. Once people are family, and even if they're not, It's just you gotta make sure everybody's done right. That's just
It's your job.
yeah.
We should catch up with the others, though.
Yeah. And turn
And
around.
with that, you guys follow in the way. You very quickly find the path, and it doesn't take you guys long to catch up because Miss Alice is having to go fairly slow through this trail, what with the heels and the wiggliness of the trail and whatnot. So the two of you catch up fairly quickly. The three of you realize that the other two didn't follow fairly quickly.
I'm kind of I have full confidence that of anybody, Ellie and Jett can take care of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So like Alice isn't like super concerned.
So Alice, this sounds like the start of a bad joke. And Alice, an undertaker, and a priest walk through the woods.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll make it short and sweet. Do you guys want to have any conversations while that's going on, or do you want to just continue following the trail?
I'm fine just following it.
These guys catch up to you. And I'm assuming with the two that just caught up, sort of just following and not really sort of taking an active part in any sort of investigation going on, you guys followed this trail, and it does take you all the way back to town. And it drops you off just outside of Paradise. Just changing the map here. It drops you off just below where it says north on this map is where you come out of the trees.
Okay.
And right there, there's, as you get to that tree line, there's the cart. And it's tilted up and leaned against a tree, and it's got some branches over it.
I don't know about it unless somebody stops her. Alice is moving those branches.
And you find the cart underneath, a couple of bloodstains on it. What you realize is that if there were 3 bodies on this cart, somebody just walked away from here with 3 bodies. It's a 1-person cart to pull.
It's most peculiar. Do you think they're... Do you suppose that perhaps the grave digger was working with whoever was taking the bodies?
I don't know. And Alice thinks back and she says, I don't know about your doctor friend, but I sure know that blacksmith is strong. And she recalls back to seeing that blacksmith carry those, like all those beams, and how easily she swung that hammer.
With one hand.
Yeah, and she says again, I haven't spent much time with the doctor, but I could see that blacksmith easily carrying a couple of bodies.
It would perhaps lend credence to the idea of a coven in this town. A blacksmith wouldn't be able to do such delicate work that you saw, would she, Lucius?
Well, she does have that unnatural strength, as Lady Ellis has said.
But whoever did these cuts and the things that you saw in the bush,
Alice
not
said,
a blacksmith.
Well, and Alice
Somebody
will
with
say,
a lot of training.
Yeah,
she says she may not be part of the medical thing, but you must remember that mausoleum that all those bodies were in did belong to her father, so she probably has access to it.
Well,
to be fair, we were the ones who put the bodies in there. We were gonna consult her about that, I believe.
The 3 that were taken, were they inside the mausoleum or were they outside it?
When these guys left the night before, all of the bodies were in the mausoleum, except for the 2 that had already been buried.
Okay. So they were stolen from
inside
the mausoleum.
And
yeah. So that's more what Alice is
thinking back on it, whoever took them closed the door.
Yeah. That's more what Alice is trying to get at, is that since it's her father's mausoleum, she would probably have a key to said mausoleum.
That's a possibility.
These guys would know it wasn't actually locked.
Oh,
they opened it yesterday.
Okay.
That's true. And besides that, the gravedigger also had a key.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Well, so he might have been working with him, or maybe he found out something that was going on.
I think we need to investigate Jett a little bit. I need to take him down anyway. And maybe look through his... I don't know if he has a small hut or a home around that area.
You're talking about Jeb, right?
Jett, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Instead of taking down Jett, and I said, "Holy
should
shit,
Yeah, I was like,
PvP.
I
It's
meant to
like,
say Jeb. My apologies.
Not even 10 episodes yet, and he's already
Dang.
PvPing on me.
Dang.
Stop that."
Measured
And Alice will just, she says, because we were given a list of people not to try, like, to be wary of, and the banker was the leader of the cult. Jeb is dead. You have reason to suspect your doctor friend. The blacksmith is running an illegal ghost rock mining or ghost rock smithing operation
Processing
out of
plant, yeah.
town.
Which I will point out, you guys have kind of benefited from.
Yeah, but that doesn't change the fact that she has it.
Just because I hang out with criminals doesn't make me a
And the
criminal.
pastor was someone else that we were warned about with this group.
That's true.
Who are you warned by?
The
The sheriff.
sheriff of the town.
Yeah, the sheriff.
Everybody you went to told you about somebody else that was weird in this town.
Yeah.
It's true. Nobody trusts anyone in this town.
Nobody. Except
say
you
that-
guys. If you remember, they keep telling you that they trust you.
Maybe
Yeah.
because we're
No,
outsiders. They don't trust anyone in town.
Yeah, but specifically the sheriff mentioned all that list of people, I think.
No offense, Jett, but I feel that we might have to put him on that list. Excuse me, I have someone at the door for some reason.
The Reaper has arrived.
Right? I was like, whoa,
That's the last we
God.
saw,
Try to be
Lucius.
What's happening?
We'll play around you, man. Go get
Sorry.
the real world fixed.
What do you trust this sheriff?
Am I there? Did we catch back up?
Yeah, you guys
Yeah,
are
we
all
got
caught up by this point. Yeah.
That sheriff is probably the most trustworthy man in this town. Well, maybe to everybody but his wife. But other
was
than
wondering.
that, he's a good man.
What?
Alice says, I did see him walk through the middle of the street, kind of unfazed in the middle of a gunfight, sort of like what you did, 20 minutes ago?
Well, perhaps then we should take our thoughts and suspicions and findings and confer with this sheriff.
He might have some ideas, especially if this has been going on for so long. He's been here longer than we have.
We can simply ask, has this doctor been around for the last 30 years?
And
I knew this was going to come up. I have to change that to 20 years because this town's only been here 20 years. I remembered
Yeah.
that
Yeah, that's
afterwards.
what I
I was
said earlier.
hoping
I
I
was
could
like,
let
yeah.
it slide, but
That's
no,
what I said
I
earlier.
can't. So,
I was like,
yeah,
it's been longer than
So,
the town.
20 to 15 was when they were killed. So, yeah, she's been here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it.
We can ask the
Nothing
sheriff
by you
why the...
Nothing.
I was just gonna let it go.
All I can tell y'all from the conversations that he's had with me is he does not trust the people that Miss Alice has listed off for various reasons, but that he does not personally like to go snooping around. So while I'm very open to going and discussing it with him, I don't know how much actual information he will be able to yield.
Or the fact that he doesn't snoop around and get information, but if we have, he might be able to connect some dots since he knows these people.
And also say, yeah, and something like maybe it's something about this town, but the blacksmith's dad was 107 years old when that child was born.
I've never heard anything like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Look, I don't think much can phase me at this point. I should be dead. There's a lot been happening lately, so like that is the least surprising thing that I've heard in this town, if I'm being honest.
And I also say, and I do know someone that probably wouldn't be afraid to dig around if we wanted to send someone digging.
You talking
What
about oh,
Well, what about Charlie? He might know something about bringing back the dead. I mean, if anyone in this town has knowledge of the occult aside from our Undertaker and Baptiste, he seems to know everything.
who? I think
The cod trick man at the bar.
Yeah, I met him when I was serving a few days ago, I guess. And then again, there's a big thing. He's got some sort of magic creature in him, needs to drink, he needs to fix the bar, he is the bar. It's
Sorry about
some
that.
nonsense. He was pushing tables together and saying that he was healing himself or something.
Wait,
Crazy.
y'all mentioned somebody named Charlie at the bar and that he was helping with it, but y'all didn't say any of this. You telling me that there's a man at the bar who knows magic and does magic, and this is the first we're talking about it?
Well,
Well,
weren't you?
magic
With you around,
Hold on.
apparently.
Well, didn't we talk about Charlie during breakfast? I believe, like,
You mentioned
sh-
him. No one said that he did magic because I was waiting.
no.
Finn's like, I know, no, but
It led to a demonstration of like I did a magic trick. Remember?
I might have been gone with
Yeah, it
Ellie.
was
Well,
just
that
a
was-
sleight of hand magic, right? It wasn't
Yeah.
magic.
True,
magic.
but I was
yeah.
doing a
we
comparison.
mentioned the card tricks, that he was good at card tricks.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
also not
I
quite.
told you I couldn't compete with the huckster who actually knows magic.
We did. Jet and I did go off at
Yeah,
some
we
point.
dipped
He was
about.
tired.
Yeah, I think you guys
Oh,
might
yeah.
not have been there. And we all I do know that nobody specifically has mentioned the whole bar healing thing
Yeah.
to Jet.
Yeah, that
Yes.
one we kind of glazed over, and I'm like, the bar is the bar healing chair. What? I think I need to meet this man.
I'd be happy to introduce you. He's friendly as they come, just spooky, but charming. He's an odd fellow.
Well, perhaps we should divide the group and investigate a few things. I feel I need to do a little investigating in the graveyard at the least. And
Well, Baptiste, you wanted to talk to the doctor.
Well, hearing more about this sheriff, I think that might actually be a better place to start.
Yeah, I do. I agree. Maybe he can shed some light on some of the histories of these people.
Well, if I'm going with Ellie to the bar, if y'all Miss Alice, you've met the man, you can introduce, but Baptiste, if you end up there without her, just tell her Jett sent you and he'll tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, if it comes to it, Mr. Comfort, I'm sure, will stick his nose where it rightly does not belong.
Yes, I'm sure he will.
I mean, I will as well, but I do it with tact sometimes.
So I just want to make sure I've got everybody going where they're going. Nobody's gone yet. You're still standing in this conversation. Lucius, you want to head back to the graveyard?
yes,
Is that correct? Okay. Miss Alice, what would you like to do?
I want to talk to the sheriff.
To the sheriff?
Yeah.
The Miss Ellie and Jett, you were going to go to the bar and talk to Charlie?
Yep.
And Baptiste, you were going with Miss Alice to see the sheriff, correct?
Sheriff.
Excellent. Okay. Let's do the sheriff first. So Alice and Baptiste, you make your way down Main Street. The sheriff's office is, as it always is, door closed, quiet. The town's half empty because there's still a lot of dead people.
Yeah.
This all happened. I mean, that happened less than 48 hours ago.
Yeah, and Alice will kind of, as we're walking there, Alice will kind of fill Baptiste in on the, like, you know, when we first got into town, Jett buddied up with the sheriff, and
Okay.
you know,
Yeah.
he's got the badge, and he's been like staying there at nights, watching the cells and stuff sometimes. So
Gotcha.
So you come in and you see the sheriff. He's got a couple buttons undone on his shirt and his vest, and he's got his hand up underneath, and he's just rubbing his shoulder. You know that's where he got shot. Looks up
Okay.
to you.
I'll say, Mr. Sheriff. I'll
Yes,
say,
ma'am.
This is Baptiste. Saint something long, something other. And
He pulls his hand out and kind of looks at it and then offers you his left hand because his right hand's got his own blood on it.
And she'll say, we've uncovered some information we kind of want to discuss with you and see if we can get your input.
About what?
And she'll kind of like defer to Baptiste because he is Baptiste.
Sheriff, a number of interesting things up in the cemetery. What can you tell me about your doctor? I know the doctor told me her name. I can't remember it.
Yeah,
Ryan
Dr.
doesn't
Harlow.
remember.
Yeah.
Harlow? Harlow.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about Dr. Harlow? How long has she been practicing here in town?
He's a lawman, and you've talked to lawmen before. You've got there's also a certain cachet that comes with that stole that you wear that seems to make it difficult for people to hide their emotions in front of you.
Mm.
And as soon as you mention her name, his face closes down. It's not anger, it's hiding something.
Okay.
She's a fine woman. Healed everybody here for many years. She was in the war, just like me. And I suspected you.
How long ago did she get into town?
She's been here since damn near the beginning. Shortly after Antietam. I guess you ain't gonna leave me alone. We came here together.
Well, your personal history is not necessarily what I'm curious about.
Oh, not like that, not like that. No, I was a very young man. I simply escorted the wounded lady.
The doctor was wounded?
She was shot in the belly. She didn't even stop operating. She took off 6 men's legs after being shot in the belly. And then when it was time to flee, she just walked off with the rest of us like nothing.
Oh. Do you know, in town, well, Sheriff, your cemetery is larger than the town square. For such a talented doctor, seems like she loses quite a few patients.
We lose a lot of people here, that's true.
Sickness, bar fights.
Mostly violence. You any good at math, Padre?
I can usually figure out exactly how many Hail Marys and Our Fathers someone needs.
I don't know why I trust you folks. And he looks at Alice again, and he looks at you, and he says, but this ain't the first time they ain't all made it into the ground.
What exactly is that supposed to mean?
But when somebody's really good at something, but they got a bad habit, sometimes you just let them feed that habit. There was a fellow when I was in the army, damn fine leader of men, a sergeant. But if he didn't have his opium, he's hiding behind a tree crying. I tell you what, more than once we went and got that boy his opium.
And our doctor has a need.
An addiction, I believe. I don't ask.
To what exactly?
Life? I never met a woman in all my days so fixated by the beauty of living things. I watched that woman spend 6 hours watching a sunflower turn over the course of the day. You should see her face when she delivers a baby.
And Alice will kind of look at Baptiste, kind of with the look that's like, I don't know, this seems to line up with our theories.
Let's say, well, Sheriff, I appreciate you being so forthright in the matter. I'm sure you'll find it prudent in the days to come.
And Alice is going to say, how in the world did a 107-year-old man father a child 19 years ago?
And there's a tiny little grin and a little bit of a blush. And he looks at the floor like he cannot look you in the face when he says this. And he says, well, when a man and a woman like each other a lot, dear, sometimes...
She'll say, don't play coy with me, and give him the stare. She's going to overall him. And then that's a plus
I
2.
don't know, miss. I the hell don't know. But I suspect, and he looks back at Baptiste and says, I suspect I'm going to need a new doctor, aren't I?
Just trying to figure out what's going on, Sheriff.
You don't strike me as the kind of man that'll let something like this go. And he looks very pointedly at your stole.
Sort of shrugs a little and tips his hat and walks out.
And Alice
waits on the porch.
And Alice will say, nor should he, from what it looks like. And then she'll turn around and follow him out.
And you just hear behind you, damn it. He leans back in his chair. Quick cut. Yeah. First of all, before I do this, the graveyard and the bar are going to have to wait. We'll start there next week because there's one more thing I got to do because I have to, we're going to break game just for a second here. I have to get our very good friend Sky out of this game because he's not going to be here next week because our boy is getting married. So many whoops for the Skyler.
Woo!
And back into the game very briefly. You two of you are heading for the bar. And Jett, you hear a voice, her voice, Raven's voice, say, bring me the doctor.
Okay. Just in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And I just gently put a hand on Ellie's shoulder real quick and be like, I have to go.
Go where?
I gotta go get, you know her. She's got to talk to the doctor. I don't know why, but she needs to apparently.
So, where will you be going?
I guess I'm going to the doctor. I can meet, I don't know. I don't rightly know. But I know I gotta go get her real quick.
Do you want backup?
You're welcome to follow, but I don't know what'll happen when I get to her. I trust my, what is she? I don't know, but I trust her, and I think this is the right thing, but I'm not going to keep you from following.
I'll come with you to the doctor's, but whatever else you have to do, that's your world, not mine.
So you get to the doctor's office. Ellie, are you going in?
I'll come with him in the doctor, yeah.
The two of you step in the door, and the doctor, I don't know if either one of you, well, Ellie's been here before, but she was unconscious. So you woke up here and left. So you know where it is and you know what it looks like. You know what her office looks like. The two of you walk in, and she's behind the desk. She's got her doctor bag out. It's clear as day. It's a black leather bag with the zipper on the top. It might as well say doctor on the side. It's a doctor bag. And she is jamming implements and rolls of gauze and tinctures and bottles into this case as you come through the door.
Howdy, ma'am.
And she looks up at you and says, shit.
Well,
Going somewhere, Dr. Harlow?
Yes.
Well, ma'am, I don't know how to say this, but I have a raven that needs to speak with you.
And she doesn't look that surprised. She slams one hand down on the counter. The wood cracks. She hits it so hard. Damn it! Just let me go. I'll be somebody else's problem.
Ma'am, I don't know what's going on. I'm not reaching for my gun, but I'm fighting that instinct because I feel like it would escalate. And I'm just like, ma'am, I don't know what's going on, but the lady I'm talking about's real nice. And she's the one that kept me alive. And I sure as hell mean you no harm. So
the voice in your head says, tell her I can save her.
And she says that she can save you.
Clang, 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 clang. She just drops the implements that she was putting in the bag. She can fix this. And she reaches down and pulls up her shirt. And her belly has got a huge gaping wound.
Ma'am, if she doesn't fix it, I promise you I will. But
look at it again. She's cold fingers. She's dead. Doc Harlow is not alive.
And I just reach out my hand and I'm like, I don't know, ma'am. I'm not one to judge, but we'll do what we can. And I just reach out my hand.
Have to trust someone.
If you need to trust anyone, Jett's probably your best bet.
And just holding out that hand.
Will you take me to Dodge City? Looking right at Jett.
Of course, ma'am. I mean, again, she wants to talk to you, but I can take you where you need to go.
I think I need you to save me.
All right.
And Jett, there's 3 quick faces in succession in your mind. Raven, the doctor, your mother. They're all about the same age. And they all need your help. And that is where we'll end tonight.
Well, boy, howdy, that boy's gone done find his purpose. Maybe he about to step into a different part of his life. Maybe things about to change, even though they're gonna be the same. I don't know. That boy's getting married.
He's
Gee,
getting
everyone out there.
married, that boy. That's the real important thing. The rest of this is just damn fools and gamery.
I want y'all to join me in a big old daggum howdy and a yeehaw. Give me yeehaw on the count of 3 for our boy Skylar getting married. 1, 2, 3. Yeehaw! We're gonna miss him while he's gone, but it's a good reason to be gone,
And then when
suppose.
you get back, you get to have another little scene, all just you and me and a bunch of the important women in Jett's life. So,
Ooh, my.
but first, there's one very important woman in your life that has to gets to marry you, and you get to marry her, and life is going to be grand and wonderful. And for those of you that are watching, that means that some stuff that he does might not be getting done exactly up to date. We got people on the job, but yeah, his marriage and the he's taking a week off. Let's just put it that way. Let's just do it that way. He's
Let's
taking a
keep
week
it
off.
simple.
We'll
He's
see
taking
him
a week
in
off.
like 2 weeks' time. But having said that a number of times, let me just go down the line here. I want everybody that was here tonight, all my wonderful storytelling friends, tell me a little bit about what you do when you're not doing this. We'll start with the man that just cleared his throat. Ryan from Roll for Initiative and some other projects. Give us an update. What's up with you when you're not doing this?
Been very busy. I'm a professor for my day job, which is really fantastic, and I do a lot of work in theater. And so I just got done working on a production of Macbeth, and it has opened, and it's really great. Got to do a bunch of fights for that. We've got 2 major battles, as well as a couple of pretty brutal ways of taking care of Macduff's only child. It's pretty vicious, but the director is a phenomenal director that trusted me with it. And so that is running at the Generic Theater in Norfolk, Virginia. So if you're anywhere in the Tidewater, Hampton Roads area, come and see it. I think I think you'll really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.
And you're also doing Roll for Initiative?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Also, of course,
videos. Yeah.
Yeah. Roll for Initiative. We got a bunch of stuff coming out, a bunch of new board game reviews, and especially those character and DM diaries that Don and I love doing.
Awesome. Yeah, I watched the last couple. It's good to see. You guys, you always make me think. Every video you guys do makes me think.
That's great.
Next one down the line, Ellie, Hannah. Oh boy, how was that for tonight?
Oh, just as emotional as last time, Kevin. That's all of Ellie's scenes now. It's just
I feel slightly bad for you because you're really the only person in this whole group that didn't know what you were getting into when you came into a game run by me. So I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm glad you haven't
great.
seen yet.
Well, and actually, everyone stay tuned and make sure to give us that follow, because I actually have a video series concept that I would like Ellie to participate in.
Ooh.
And so people who follow along with our things, they'll know, and they'll get to see more of Hannah and what she does with her character, that sort of stuff. But also because when we reach 400 followers, as we do every 100 followers, we'll be doing a giveaway. And the giveaway this time is one of those fantastic Elderwood Academy dice trays that just rolls up into a little spell scroll. It's beautiful.
They are stunning, absolutely stunning. And there's a segue for you. Speaking of absolutely stunning, let's go all the way down to the end there. The man in the hat, who doesn't have his hat on at the moment.
Lucius.
Lessimax. You've got an interesting day job for the rest of this month. Give
Well,
us a quick rundown of that.
well, it's more of a night job, actually.
Yeah, I get that makes sense. Sure, yeah.
But yeah, I work in a haunted house basically as a scare actor called Demonton House. Honestly, it is one of the best jobs. I enjoy it. Yeah. So it's if you're ever in town at Edmonton or coming to town, come check it out. 7031 Gateway Boulevard.
There you go. Address and everything.
Oh yeah.
Deadlands.
Come check it out. You won't see me, but I'll certainly see you.
That's such a Lucius thing to say.
And then down on the bottom, Miss Alice, played by our very own Sarah. You got some new stuff coming up too. We got a game going not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow, right?
Yes. Boom. Bam. It's always
There it
there.
is.
Don't worry
Style.
about it. It's always close
Style
by.
and flash. There's
We
more than one
got,
hat wearing person in this game.
Clockwork coming soon. It is a we had our first session, character creation. I did some character sheet stuff. It is a steampunk horror RPG. It is beautiful. I might be a little obsessed with it.
Well, a little background. We met, the two of us went over to Gen Con, along with, actually we met up with Roll from Initiative there. That was fun.
Yes.
But we met the creator of Clockwork Dominion and talked to him, and he's actually going to be the one GMing this game. So if you're if you're a steampunk fan and you've been playing GURPS and you've been looking for a system that's a little more purpose built for the genre, you need to check this out. And if you want to check out that character creation video, it is available in our videos on demand here on Twitch, as well as in our YouTube channel, which I think Jett has already posted a link of, because he's the one that manages that.
Look at him.
Yep. And I'm also in the process of very slowly learning animation. So
Oh yes, fun 3D animations coming your way.
yes.
So we've got some new intros to look forward to then.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Get on
I'm working on one for this show specifically. So.
Oh, spectacular. That is awesome.
Yeah.
And which brings us back to the man of the hour, the man of the day. I kind of piled a little on him today so that he'd get through his extra week. I suspect for all the things that Puck and I have done to you in the last couple of months, I mean this in the nicest possible way, the next 10 to 12 days of your real life are going to put all this shit in the shade. So, young man, go do it. Go marry the love of your life. Look at that smile. Look, come on, let it out, man. There it is. Look at that smile. Ladies and gentlemen, let us close tonight with some best wishes, smiles, and hopes for wonderful, marvelous joy for Sky. Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Everybody else, I'll shoot you next week.